Hello, good evening and welcome to the Millennium Stadium in Featherstone, where we're here to bring you live uninterrupted commentary of this Betfred Championship Round 7 clash between Featherstone Rovers and the York Knights. Featherstone come into this game simply desperate for a win in the Championship, desperate to claim what would be just their second win of the Championship season. Had plenty of good fortune in the 1895 Cup, of course, with a semi-final showdown against Oldham coming up in June, but the league matters have been somewhat of a struggle so far this season for Paul Cook's men, and Featherstone come into the game after an agonising 2-point defeat, 30 points to 28 on the road against Oldham just last week. With York, they take on York, who have been reinvigorated in the last month or so after a tumultuous start to the season. 3 straight losses. They've won their last 4 games in all competitions, including an emphatic 66 points to 0 win over Doncaster last week. As I say, they come in plenty of form, looking to claim their 4th league win in a row and cement themselves in the playoff places, with Featherstone coming to the game in 11th place, with Sheffield losing this afternoon. They're looking to propel themselves away from the bottom of the table, get their season back on track and start looking up. We're just a few minutes away from kick-off here. I'll run through the team news quickly. Featherstone make 3 changes to the side that lost out narrowly to Oldham last week, with Gareth Gale, Robson Stevens and Ben Reynolds dropping out of the side, Ben Reynolds carrying an injury. Paul Cook able to recall Daryl Alforts, King Vuniyayawa and Callum Turner into the matchday 17. So Featherstone line up like this. Caleb Akins is the fullback, 3-quarter line of Daryl Alforts, Bailey O'Connor, Jaden Hatton and Connor Wynn. Connor Jones comes from the bench from last week into the halves to partner Ryan Hampshire, plays just his 2nd game for the club. Up front for Rovers, Gadwin Springer, Will Jubb taking on his former side for the first time. It looks like Jimmy Beckett, with Josh Hardcastle, Clay Webb and Danny Addy rounding off the starting side. On the bench for the hosts, King Vuniyayawa, Jordan Williams, Callum Turner and Nathan Wild. York, they name an unchanged 17 from the side that swept aside Doncaster last week. As I mentioned, Mark Applegarth able to recall on exactly the same matchday 17. So line up like this. Joe Brown is at fullback, 3-quarter line of Ben Jones-Bishop, Kieran Buchanan, Ollie Field and Scott Galliano, who scored a hat-trick last week against the Dons. Atta Hingano partners captain Liam Harris in the halves. Up front for York, Jack Martin, Paul McShane and Akuma Tai. Jesse D, Connor Bailey and Jordan Thompson round off the starting side. On the bench for the visitors, Sam Cook, Brendan Santi, Harvey Reynolds and Kieran Hudson. So the stage is set here. It's a windy, cold and a little bit rainy in Featherstone this afternoon, which should pose a few challenges for the players. There's a decent surface in the Millennium Stadium here. We're just waiting for the 2 sides to come out this afternoon. A decent crowd turned up, braved the conditions, and some fans at the far end on the right-hand side braving it without the shelter. It's been a huge afternoon so far, of packed with Super League and Championship action, of course. And we're just a few minutes away from Featherstone and York taking centre stage to wrap up the Good Friday action as the 2 teams come out onto the field this afternoon, led out by captain Danny Addy and York's skipper Liam Harris. Featherstone in their predominantly navy kit with a white trim, and York in their predominantly white strip, black and yellow trim. Featherstone, of course, tasted defeat in the last regular season game away at York at the LNER Community Stadium last season. Be looking to exact revenge over York. As I said, of the 2 sides, you can't argue against the fact that York come into this in better form, winning their last 4 in all competitions, and just the magnitude of the scoreline last week, very impressive. Featherstone will be looking to put a stop to that, get their season back on track, get them looking up the table. And the referee this afternoon is Ryan Cox, and he has the ball with him. We're almost ready to go here. Featherstone will be attacking from right to left up the slight hill as we see it in the first half, but York will have first use of the ball. Here we go then, live on FRTV. Betfred Championship Round 7 clash. Featherstone Rovers versus York Knights. Can Featherstone get back in the winner's circle and claim their 2nd win of the season? Ryan Hampshire gets the game underway. And it's taken near the try line by Harris, who hands it straight on to Martin, who's hitting a solid shot there from Danny Addy. Helped out by Hatton and Webb, and he'll play it on his own 20. for the first carry of the game. Thompson now. Ever reliable Jordan Thompson goes on his back, put to ground by the former Knight himself, Will Jubb. McShane waits at acting half. Ty up and over that 30-metre line into the clutches of Springer. Jubb in there for the back-to-back defensive efforts there. He'll play it just short of the 40, and almost a mistake there, but the referee waves play on as Harris turns O'Connor underneath. Connor Bailey, rather. Plays it short of halfway. Martin second carry in this set in those fluorescent pink boots, and a good shot under the ball there coming in from Jubb. This will be the last one for York. Play it 5 metres into Featherstone territory. Harris does the kicking under a little bit of pressure. This will be a tester for Aikens in the wind. Takes it well, but immediately smothered by the York chasers there. And a decent opening set of 6 from the visitors. Now then, Wynn. Couple of tries last week in the defeat to Oldham. He'll play it on the 20-metre line. Alfort's back in the side this evening, runs into Martin and takes him a couple of metres forward, finished off by McShane and Ty. He'll play it on the 30. Springer fired out of a cannon, runs straight at his opposite number and takes another 5 or 6 metres forward with him. As is the impact he can have up to and over that 40-metre line. Addy, first receiver now against the retreating defence, up and over the halfway, finds an offload for Jubb. And back to Springer, who started this move. Takes another few metres forward, eventually cut down in a 3-man York tackle. This has been a decent opening set from Featherstone. They'll kick from a similar position to York. Hampshire does the kicking, high hanging one, looking to test out Brown. Brown backpedaling, takes it 5 from his own line. And the chase this time from Featherstone is up to scratch. So both sets of players trading a decent opening set of possession there. 2 minutes gone, Featherstone 0, York 0. Jones Bishop put on his back there about Beckett. Come forward for Galliano, scored a hat-trick in that mammoth victory over Doncaster. Another carry coming in from York here. They'll play it just short of their 40-metre line. Jesse D, the man with that carry, as the early kick comes downfield here. Aikens got to go back and take that one all the way back on his own 10-metre line. A couple of chasers here to meet him, and eventually the York line fills and brings him to ground on the 20. Alfort's again now. Play 2 carry. He's held in the challenge there. Taken by Bailey. Here comes Hatton now. Hatton, been in good try-scoring form of recently for Featherstone. Can he add to his tally this afternoon? Addy pops it straight off to Springer. Better contact from York, but reeling out of the tackle came Thompson. Finished off by McShane. 5 short of halfway now, Featherstone. Middle of the tackle count. Addy, ball playing to Hampshire. Out the back it comes now. Space, Aikens. Out to O'Connor. O'Connor's into the backfield. Here he goes. He's got nobody in support. Can he go around the fullback? Brown does a good job to cut him down. 10 metres out, and now it will be a penalty. And it's a penalty for a high shot on Bailey O'Connor. Great slick ball playing out the back there. Hampshire involved. Put Bailey O'Connor into the backfield. Lightning quick from the Featherstone right centre. Cut back infield. Had Joe Brown wrong-footed and just caught him high. Won't be any more than a penalty, but a terrific opportunity early in this game now for Featherstone. 10 metres out, just 4 minutes in, the first real attacking chance for either side. Here comes Beckett now, play 1. What have Featherstone got in attack here? Right, to Hampshire, flat pass there for Hardcastle. Hardcastle met there by D on that right edge. Field in there to affect the tackle as well. Slow play the ball. Referee just says play on. Ball comes out now to Addy. Flat pass there for Springer. Springer really busy in the opening exchanges of this one. But he's put on his back there in the tackle from Ty and McShane. It's Thompson rather. Centre field, it comes out to Addy on the left. Flat pass there for Webb. A good defence under the ball there from Harris. They eventually put him on the ground. Just a metre out. Couple of tackles still remaining. Options left and right. They go right. Addy, flat pass there for Springer. That's a high shot surely, and the referee calls it immediately. And it would have to be a high shot to get one on Springer, the man mountain. The referee immediately blowing the whistle, and Featherstone will go on the attack again here. Having said that, there's an easy 2 points on offer if they want it. Right next to the posts. And the referee just stops the game momentarily. Hard to see the exact contact. Springer is up on his feet again. Seems okay. Interesting. The referee not interested in escalating this any further. Game is back underway. Beckett off that tap restart. Another set of 6 to play with for Featherstone here. Still no score. Beckett will play it in the shadow of the uprights. Jubb at acting half. Flat pass for Addy, who wanted to try and twist out of the tackle, but it was good defence on show from York to go down. Jack Martin. Ty now. Plenty of NRL and Super League experience. He's wrestled to the ground by Addy, who gets a good piece of him with Springer. And it's a 6 again given against Featherstone now, so York with an opportunity perhaps to go on the attack on the back of this set, as they're already over the halfway line through Thompson on what will be the 0 tackle. Flat pass there for Bailey. Bailey spins out of the tackle, but Beckett puts him to the ground. They're approaching the Featherstone 30 here, York. Harris just drops it underneath now for Martin. Good tackle over the top there from Springer. Martin plays it. Out it comes to Harris, drops off Buchanan, a little bit of room, but the door is closed on him by Springer. That's a huge tackle from the French international. Knocks him off his feet. 20 metres out now, York, they're going left. Hingano gets his hands on the ball, out to Brown. They're trying to square things up here. Field on that far side. Good tackle on the inside there from Bailey O'Connor. That'll be the last one, 10 metres out. Hingano shapes to go right, then comes back through the middle left, and he'll just take that tackle as Hardcastle brings him to ground, and Featherstone survive that attacking raid from York. Defended the best part of 10 or 11 tackles in that set, Featherstone. Zolfert's coming forward, still no change to the score. Featherstone 0, York 0 as we approach the 9-minute mark here at the Millennium Stadium. Hatton plays it centre field, 20 out. Jubb finds Webb. Webb tries to go over the top of Martin, who sticks to him, and finished off by McShane on the 30. A little bit of room to move here. The markers weren't set. Jubb pinches 10 metres himself. Up to the Featherstone 40 now. Looping pass infield to Addy. Addy shaped to pass himself, just kept hold of it. The wise decision in the end. Beckett slightly overrunning that one. They're going to kick from 40 out. Hampshire got a good piece of it, perhaps a little bit too much. In fact, he's got it beautifully just inside, and a dangerous bounce there for Galliano, and he's taken it well and cuts back in field, cut off his feet there by Jubb. And a second effort over the ball there from Beckett, just trying to buy an extra second. It was the balance of Galliano, got him almost through the half gap there. He was cut off his feet by Will Jubb. He just had to concede a quick play of the ball. Tried to go back on for a second effort, and an easy out now for York, who will start the set 40 metres away from Featherstone's line. So Field off the tap restart. Put to ground by Hardcastle. Plays it 30 out now. Hingano, first receiver. Out the back it comes to Harris. Finds a tie now. Tie put to ground. 3 Featherstone jerseys in there. Webb, the chief tackler. 25 out, they come right. First receiver is Harris again. Flat pass view, Buchanan, that's a great tackling off his wing from Connor Wynn. 15 out now, York. Come back centre field through Harris. Harris drops off Thompson. Thompson is ridden to the ground there. The tackle of Webb. A couple of tackles still remaining. 10 metres out now, York. Hingano. Kick comes in, it's ricocheted, and it's picked up there by Bailey O'Connor. A little bit of roomy. Hofsale to Alfords. Now then, it's a foot race. Alfords can't get away from McShane. He's put him on the ground. He's trying to straighten up. Can he get past the cover defenders? They could eventually round him up, but not before he's got back all the way to the York 30 now. Great counter-attack on show from Featherstone. Can they finish this off? The Yorkers strip the numbers. Hatton, he beats the first man, and he's put to ground 10 metres out. York doing just enough to pull him to ground. There's space out wide if they can get it there. They decide to straighten things up and just take the tackle. Not a bad option. Beckett goes down 10 metres out. Jubb at acting half. Now then, Hampshire. Out it comes to Aikens. Aikens absolutely clobbered in the challenge there of Hingano. Was up quickly, snuffed out the danger. 10 metres out still, Featherstone. First receiver is Addy, centre field. Out it comes to Jones. Jones had the option there, but didn't quite know which one to take, and in the end is Brought down in the tackle of Harris. This will be the last one. Out it comes to Addy. Addy tries to stab the kick through this time. Ricochets, and it's picked up by Harris. And again, the final pass, the final play, not quite clicking for Featherstone so far, but great counter-attack off the back of solid defence from the Hose side. That'll please Coach Paul Cook to this point. 12 minutes gone. Featherstone 0, York 0. York looking to clear their own line here. Galliano, Australian import, joined the club just a few weeks ago. As Martin braces for impact. He's knocked Jubb off his feet there, who quickly bounces back up. Takes his place at marker. York 30 metres out from their own line. Hingana's got a kick early, low trajectory kick, looking for a 40-20. Got nowhere near enough on it, and that will just be Featherstone's ball 30 metres from their line. Everybody will just take a break. We've frantic stuff here at the Millennium Stadium, end to end. Scramble defence on show from both sides so far in this one. Featherstone will just take a bit breath and restart. Alfort's with the first carry off the play of the ball. Brought to ground by 3 York defenders. Win now. Bumps away from Bailey. Signed for Hull FC for next season, the big back rower. As Win, slow play the ball, wanted a penalty, didn't get one, eventually plays it. Springer takes the pass from Addy, finds an offload for Jubb, who was immediately under pressure. Harris looking for the intercept. New play at 5 short of halfway. Middle of the tackle count now for Featherstone. Beckett. So reliable, Jimmy Beckett gets through plenty of work. He's put to ground, just wrestled to the ground there by Paul McShane. Jubb, out of acting half, drops it off now for Addy. Puts the pass out now to Hardcastle. Hardcastle tries to straighten up, almost went round Ngannou. Did just enough to pull him to ground, but not before he finds the offload. Now then, Hampshire. Hampshire fires it out now to O'Connor. O'Connor straightens things up. He's been dangerous so far with his speed on that edge. Featherstone are 20 metres out now. Last tackle. Hampshire doing the kicking again. It's a kick up. There's nobody chasing this one really. Taken on the try line by Galliano. But a good kick chase there, led by Josh Hardcastle. Sees York coming out of their own 10 here. Exactly where Featherstone want them. Carry from Field. Put to ground by Beckett. Still inside their own 20 here, York. Jones Bishop relieving carry. Best part of 10 metres on that one from the veteran winger. Out it comes, Buchanan. Looking for some space, runs into Webb, helped out by Jones. Looked for the offload there, decided to reel it back in. As the rain continues to come down at the Millennium Stadium here, it's going to start getting a little bit slippy, the ball, as the game goes on. Thompson standing in tackles, looking for the offload. Keeps hold of it himself. Last tackle for York. Kicking from their 40 again. Harris puts it high. Testing one for Win. Win takes it with no real issues at all and has a little bit of space. Fires it out to Akins. Wasn't quite ready for it. Strong shot over the top there from Hingano again. They'll play it. Featherstone starting their set on their own 30. So arguably Featherstone's best defensive set of the game so far, that one. As they're up to the 40 on just the second tackle. Win a little bit ginger to get up and play that one. As Hatton comes forward. Low tackle comes in from Martin. Win still down in back play. Webb straightens it up and over that halfway line. 3 York defenders in there to control that tackle. Pass comes centre field now to Addy. Addy out it comes to Hampshire. Hampshire out to Akins, out to O'Connor again. He was worrying them with his defence, but he's brought to ground there. And a good tackle from Field on that far side. Last tackle, Featherstone kick from 40. They're under pressure. Akins got the ball there from Hampshire. Fires it up in the air, taken by Brown on the 10. The blue wall there to meet him. Good defensive effort again from Featherstone. The little things they're doing well at the moment. The kick chase was solid. Galliano is knocked off his feet there in the challenge from Addy. But he gets a quick play of the ball. Ben Jones Bishop through the middle. As York make their first change. So Cook into the game for Akumatai. Featherstone yet to make a change. 17 minutes of the game gone. Thompson over the halfway line, fakes inside, goes outside. D with the ball now. Weaving back in field, looking for some tired defenders. He split the line there, Jesse D, and he found the tired defenders, and he fires the pass in field for Brown, and Brown will score the first try of the game, just like that, something from nothing. And it came from just a tired defensive effort in the middle. They turned the ball back underneath. Jesse D, the man who just weaved his way across field and accelerated between two Featherstone defenders. They'll want that challenge back over again. Broke into the backfield. He had Joe Brown in support, timed the pass perfectly, and Brown cantered away to score underneath the posts. And with 16 minutes of the game gone, York have first points. It's Featherstone 0, York 4. Liam Harris will have a fairly simple conversion attempt here from bang in front. Featherstone will be disappointed with that one. Goes without saying, but been great defensively up to that point, and then just allowing a little bit of space for D, who just accelerated between defenders. And Brown, as all good fullbacks do, they're in support as Harris knocks the ball between the posts. With 18 minutes of the game gone here, it's Featherstone 0, York 6. Featherstone gone to their bench in the aftermath of that try. Jordan Williams into the game now for Gadwin Springer. Now then, what have Featherstone got in response here? As Hampshire gets the game back underway. Tricky one taken on the try line by Brown, hands it straight off to Martin. Martin enveloped in the tackle, Williams straight into the action. Three Featherstone defenders, but leaves them on the ground there. Quick play of the ball. Here comes Cook. Cook put to ground there. Good challenge there by Williams, doubling up on his defensive efforts, but gives away a penalty. Just a second effort again there from Featherstone. Job protesting his innocence, the referee having none of it. And another easy piggyback upfield here for York. Featherstone cannot afford to give a team with York's attacking prowess easy territory. Tap restart off the penalty. Buchanan spins straight out of two tackles. Still going, Kieran Buchanan. Still wrestling his way forward and eventually put on the ground 35 metres away from the Featherstone line here. Featherstone need to be careful defensively here. York looking for back-to-back tries in a matter of minutes. As Martin still going forward, eventually driven backwards. Four defenders in that tackle initially. 30 metres away, centre field they come. Thompson beats the first man, can't get away from Addy. Jones in there to help out. Jones, of course, deputising at half-back today in the absence of Ben Reynolds. 20 metres out, options left and right. They come left. Martin, good shot down below the ball there from Jubb. 10 metres away now, just to the left-hand side of the post. They come open side on the right. Flat pass there for Cook. That's a great tackle in under the ball from Webb, and it had to be. Helped out by Williams. Just slammed the door shut on the York forward. Last tackle for York. They come out to Harris. Flat pass there for Buchanan. The good defence there. He's not going to get to the line. Great work to get under the ball there and lock that ball up from Jaden Hatton. And Connor winning there as well, and they'll just turn over possession. But Featherstone, really tough set here coming away from their own line as the York defence is up quickly to meet them on that first carry. Hatton plays it just a couple of metres out from his own try line. Hardcastle, great carry up to the 10. Featherstone need a little bit more. Williams, good pace and nice carry almost up to the 20. Industrious from Featherstone, but York doing well to contain them so far. O'Connor steps off his right foot, standing in the tackle. 25 metres away from their line, Featherstone. 4 tackles gone. Hampshire out to Addy. Addy just straightens things up and takes it all the way up to the 40. So not a bad set in the end from Featherstone, considering where they turned over possession. Hampshire kicking on the last. Moves it downfield, taken on the full, 20 metres out there by Brown. Good contact coming in from Hatton there. 21 minutes gone here. Featherstone 0, York 6. A try to Joe Brown, the sole points scored in this game so far. York come forward again, Galliano over the halfway line. Addy's got a hold of him, puts him to ground. Through the middle they come again, Martin. Plenty of carries in the opening 20 minutes from the starting York front rower. He plays it. 30 out, Hingano shapes to go right, eventually gives it out to Harris, looping ball over the top to Jones Bishop, who's on the outside of his man. Jones Bishop was going to walk in the corner. And lovely disguised pass from the York captain, Liam Harris, who shaped to drop the ball under inside, but just looped a floating pass, just managed to tease Connor Wynn in off his wing, looped the pass over the top to him, and Ben Jones Bishop never misses an opportunity like that. He just glided down the right wing and scores York's second try of the game. With 22 minutes on the clock, York have opened up a 2-score lead here at the Millennium Stadium. It's Featherstone 0, York Knights 10. You just see good deception from both half-backs. It came out to Harris, just held it up just enough, and just looped that ball out. Wynn couldn't do anything, came in on the wrong player. And Jones Bishop around the outside, scores out wide. For York's second try of the game as Martin comes from the field, Santi into the action for York. So York changing around both of their starting front rowers. Liam Harris with a second conversion attempt of the evening. A little bit more difficult this one, about 6 metres in from this right touchline. He's taking it a little bit further back. Generally a good goal kicker. Looking to open up a 12-point lead here for the visitors. And he's guided it between the posts. Scoreline now, Featherstone Rovers 0, York Knights 12. So Featherstone looking to open their account. 2 scores behind at the moment. They get the game back underway. Brown takes it comfortably on that try line, and Santi with the first carry since coming off the bench here. He's rounded up 15 away from his own line. Thompson. Good contact coming in from Hardcastle. Play it 20 metres out. Cook. Well, it comes now to Bailey. Bailey put to ground there, 30 from his own line. Santi, second carry in this set. Good tackle, in fact, it wasn't a good tackle. Addy just coming in and giving away a penalty, and he just shakes his head in frustration. All effort and all heart, Danny Addy. You won't find a more hard-working player, but just getting it wrong there again and giving away crucial field position again for his team. And Featherstone been guilty a few times now of just letting York out of their own end too easily, and that'll certainly be something I'm sure Coach Paul Cook will have to say to his players at half-time. Can't keep giving York easy outs from their own end. As they'll look for touch here again. Harris finds it just shy of the halfway line. Buchanan, tap restart. Good contact coming in there from Chubb and Webb. Difficult to put on the ground there, Buchanan. Eventually plays it. Harris, out it comes to Thompson. Thompson straightens things up. He will play it, 35 out now from the Featherstone line. Here comes Santi, just slips on the Ground that's starting to chop up a little bit in light of the rain. It's been falling persistently since kickoff. Hingano, first receiver, drops off D, who created the first try for York. This time, Featherstone have got hold of him. Addy puts him to ground, 20 out. Hingano, first receiver, comes across field, shapes it, gives it to Harris. Harris, flat pass there for Buchanan. Hatton was waiting for him. Good read there defensively from Featherstone. This will be the last one, 10 out. Come down the short side on the right. Harris dinks the kick in, didn't get as much of it as he liked, and it's picked up there by Featherstone, and I think that'll be a knock-on against York. And a simple turnover, 10 metres out. So Harris not pulling the right rein on that occasion, tried to get the kick through, just ricocheted off Hatton, tried to regain it, knocked it on, and Featherstone will take over possession here, 10 metres out. 27 minutes gone here. Featherstone 0, York 12. And it will be a scrum feed here off the back of the knock-on. It's Nathan Wild below us, prowling the touchline. He'll be ready to come into the game shortly for Featherstone. Scrum feed 1, Alforts comes forward, beats the first man of Hingano, slipped as he came into the defensive line. And a penalty goes to Featherstone, a rare penalty so far in this game. But they do get a very valuable clearing kick here, and Hampshire gets plenty of it. And Featherstone now will start their set 5 metres short of the halfway line. A good carry from Alforts there, found his front. Won the contact and rightly winning that penalty for a second effort as Hardcastle plays it on halfway. Beckett, Williams makes another couple of metres after contact there. They come forward again, out it comes to Aikins. Aikins drops off Webb. Webb is put to the ground unceremoniously there by Santi as Turner comes into the game for the first time. You'd imagine he'll come into the halves with Jones reverting back to hooker as they get the offload out. Turner straight into the action, tries to straighten up, rides the challenger Buchanan, and he's put on the ground on the 20-metre line. Featherstone looking good in this set. They need points off the back of it, you feel. Addy, out it comes to Aikins. Aikins out to O'Connor. The York defence was up quickly on the edge to meet him. No space out there for the young centre as he offloads it though for Hardcastle. Just straightening them up inside the 10 now. This will be the last one. What have they got on the last play, Featherstone? Hampshire digs into the line. Out it comes to Turner. Aikins wasn't there. He hadn't wrapped round quick enough. Hatton flicks it up in the air. And Aikins is wrapped up by Cook. And Featherstone just losing their composure there on the last tackle. Lost the best part of 20 metres on that set. You have to give credit to the smothering defence from York. But the attack broke down there, and fairly underwhelming end to that set for Featherstone as York come forward again. Jones Bishop plays it. Field stands in the challenge. Williams affecting the tackle. McShane acting half. Gives it on to Thompson. Just route one straight through the middle. Best part of 15 metres on that carry from the veteran loose forward. 40 metres out now, York. Cook shaped to give it out wide. Kept it himself and put to ground by Addy. Beckett in over the top. 30 out now. York, centre field. Ball playing is Thompson to Harris. Drops off Bailey. Bailey straight through the middle of the Featherstone line. Gives it to Santi. Santi in support. Great cover tackle there coming in from Williams. It had to be in a try-scoring situation. Last one for York. It comes out to Harris. Harris, flat pass from Buchanan out to Jones Bishop. Jones Bishop scores again. A quick-fire double from the York right winger, and it was just fast hands after the bust initially through the middle. Santi was brought to ground 10 metres out, and they just got it wide quickly. Alert play there from Harris, a flat one out to Buchanan, 2-on-1, and Ben Jones Bishop touches down for his second try of the game. And Featherstone falling 3 scores adrift here as we hit the half-hour mark. It's now Featherstone 0, York Knights 16. It was the offload from Bailey who made the half break, found Santi in support. As I said, he was cut down in a desperate tackle, but from there, Featherstone's defensive line never really recovered. The pass came out from Harris, flat ball to Buchanan, quick hands. And Ben Jones Bishop, another strolling on that right edge, and Featherstone will be disappointed with just a couple of lapses in defence that have really cost them for the first try. Jesse D just running straight through the middle of the defence that had been so solid up to that point. And there, Connor Bailey just allowed to burst through the line there, and disjointed defensive line retreating on their own try line. Had no chance on the next play. But York, clinical in their attack and their execution. Featherstone staring down the barrel of a potential 18-0 scoreline here. As Harris has the ball on the tee, very similar position to his last one. Looking to make it 3 from 3, the York skipper. And it just hits the post and waved away, so the score remains Featherstone 0, York 16. We've got 8 minutes to go to the break here. There's Wild is on the field now for his first action of the afternoon, replacing Webb. The game back underway once again. Santi winding up for the carry, good shot there, coming in from Williams and Beckett. Santi just slipping a little bit as he hit the ground. York come forward. York done very little wrong, it has to be said, in this first half so far. Haven't made many mistakes. Haven't given Featherstone that many chances. Featherstone need to get back into this game. They need a try. They need to simply feel like, in the context of this game, they need to be the next to score. There's finding some muscle there in defence, Featherstone. 3 men in the tackle on Jesse D. Hingana finds Cook. Cook, flat pass there, wasn't a good one, but Thompson did well to pick that up off his bootlaces. Won't thank his forwards partner for that one. Last one. Done a good job at containing York here, Featherstone. High kick comes down, taken on the full. In fact, it's just knocked backwards there by Aitkins, but does enough to retain possession for his side, and just winds it up and runs it straight back at Santi, bumped away from the prop forward. Wynn, who's been struggling in back play with a bit of a shoulder complaint, looks to be okay at the moment. He'll play it 30 out. Featherstone fans crying for a 6 again, not given by the referee, as Alfords comes forward, bundled to the ground, 40 metres away from his line. Addy trying to get up and over that halfway line, and will do so. He's found his front as well there, the Featherstone captain. Wild. Wild put to ground. 40 metres out now. Last tackle. Turner going to kick from halfway. Do a little bit of pressure, but taken easily on that 10-15 metre line there by Brown, who falls again. Quite a lot of players starting to lose their footing a little bit. As I mentioned, the rain been coming down since the start of this game. The pitch just starting to get a little bit heavier. Ball starting to become a bit more slippery. Jones Bishop, first half double. Plays it in the middle of the field. And York finding Featherstone offside again there. Just again, their own worst enemy in this part of the game is Galliano making a big carry, and Featherstone discipline, just letting them down at crucial stages here. 3 or 4 occasions now where they've given yardage penalties, easy outs for York, and just inviting trouble down the far end of the field as York tap and restart through field. We'll take the first carry, and he's lost the ball in the tackle there. And that's a bit more like it from Featherstone. A few high fives of getting around each other now. Big contact coming in on field who forced the error. And Featherstone simply need more challenges like that, more intensity in their defence, and repel York, and York will not get another attacking set on the Featherstone line on this occasion. Great shot coming in there. The scrum feed will eventually be fed by Featherstone, 35 away from their own line. 4 minutes of the half remaining. Listing on FRTV, Featherstone 0, York 16, as Hatton comes forward off the scrum win. Cook in there on the inside, finished off by Bailey. Wild, backpedaling up towards the halfway line, goes down just short of it. Beckett, out it comes to Addy. Addy out to Hampshire. Hampshire, quick hands for Akins, trying to straighten things up. Good tackle on the inside from D, but York found a penalty here. So for a shot off the ball there on Addy, perhaps. And a penalty on the halfway line. Now then, Featherstone have got good 3 minutes here to go on the attack. A try before half-time would do them the world of good heading into the break. Full set of 6, 20 metres out. What have Featherstone got in attack here? Been quite a while since they've had any chances down the ascend. There's another shot creeping up high there, but the referee not giving it. As Hardcastle plays it. Addy, first receiver, straight line attack here. Inside the 10. Plays it just to the right-hand side of the post. Looping pass comes out to Turner. Turner out the back. Another untidy one for Akins. Akins is ridden to the ground there by McShane, and these shift plays at the moment from Featherstone not working as they'd like. Turner finds Hampshire, stutters, steps, skips across field. Hampshire still going, finds the offload. A wild one out to O'Connor. O'Connor in a little bit of space. Straightens things up. Cut to ground there by Santi. Tackle still in the bag here. Addy. Out it comes to Turner. Turner out the back to Akins. Akins trying to straighten things up. Just has to take the tackle. That will be the last one for the home side. Slow play of the ball. Turner comes off his right foot. Turner looking for some space. Dribbles it in behind. That'll be watched over the dead ball line by Brown. And good manufactured extra set coming up for Featherstone. Nice little bit of innovation from Turner, who had his options on the open side cut off, just came back infield, dribbled it through the line, and Joe Brown could do nothing in the face of a decent kick chase from Featherstone, and they'll get another set of 6 here. We're inside the final 2 minutes of this first half, so Featherstone will get through a full set. Featherstone 0, York 16. York in no hurry to get this one back underway. Taken by Hampshire there. Handed on to Williams. That's a good contact coming in from York, but not taking a backward step, Williams. Beckett hands it on to Addy. Addy will play it 20 metres out. Just over a minute remaining. Williams takes the pass from Hampshire. Door closed on him by Santi. Out the ball comes to Hampshire, off his right foot, off his left foot. Hampshire almost slipped the net there. Hampshire, can he get to the line? York do just enough to bring him down a metre short. Needs to play it quickly. Jones, out it comes to Akins. Straightens it up, Caleb Akins. Can he get to the line? He's got to the line, but he can't get the ball down. That will be the last one. Comes out to Hampshire again, looking for the kick out wide. Going to try and get up for it. It's bounced off everybody and it's gone over the dead ball line. And that has been ruled to have come off Featherstone. So with 23 seconds of the half remaining, York keep their line intact. Quick play there for Galliano. Takes it from wing partner Ben Jones-Bishop. And that's been a story of Featherstone's half, really. Just not able to quite get their execution right when they've had chances. And he's lost the ball there, Galliano, and it's a knock-on. But with just 7 seconds of the half remaining, I'm not sure we'll get to the scrum feed here. Looks like they will have time. The referee stopped the clock. Just under a minute remaining by the sounds of it. So Featherstone will have perhaps a couple of players here, starting 40 metres away from the York line. Need something special on this play if they're going to open their account before half-time. Turner, out it comes. Hatton takes the pass. Put to ground by 3 York defenders there. 20 out now. York are messing around in the play of the ball. Slow one. Turner, first receiver, just straightens things up. Takes them on himself. Turner goes to ground. On the York 20. Out it comes to Akins. Akins in behind the line. Didn't get it through the line. And that's picked up by York there. And Just a little bit more desperation from Buchanan, who trapped the ball first and then got through to take it down. And they had to try something, Featherstone, there. Just a few plays remaining in this half. The attack comes to nothing in the end. And York, barring a mistake here, will take a 3-score advantage into half-time. And Paul Cook with a big job to do to turn this one around at half-time, for get his troops in and regroup. York up to the halfway line as the siren sounds. They come down this short side as Bailey just takes a simple carry, and that will bring an end to the first half action at the Millennium Stadium. And it's been a frustrating one for Featherstone for large parts. They've defended well in patches. They've had some physically dominant periods and some opportunities down at the right end of the field, but as I mentioned, not been able to come up with the crucial play to break what has been a resolute defensive line for York. But York, on the other hand, have had chances of their own, and they've taken them on 3 occasions, with a try to Joe Brown, followed by a brace to Ben Jones-Bishop. 2 converted by Liam Harris, leads the half-time score here at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 0, York Knights 16. And the frustrations continuing for Featherstone so far in the Betfred Championship, but certainly not out of this game. They'll go in at half-time. If they can get a quick score in the second half, the momentum very much with them. Another 40 minutes of action to come here at the Millennium Stadium. Listen on FRTV. We'll take a quick break and be back for all the second half action. But at half-time, it's Featherstone 0, York 16. Hello and welcome back to the Millennium Stadium in Featherstone, where we're at half-time in this Betfred Championship Round 7 clash. Featherstone with a bit of work to do in the second half, trailing York Knights by 16 points to nil. Both sides are back out onto the field this afternoon. The rain still continuing to fall. Featherstone will have first use of the ball in this second half. They will be attacking from left to right as we see it down the slight hill. Can Featherstone get themselves back into this game? They need a fast start, that goes without saying, and they need to be the first team to score in this second half. Can't afford to give York a 4-score advantage as they get the game back underway off the boot of Liam Harris, and Daryl Alforts will take the first carry of the second half. Hardcastle. Got through a lot of defensive work, not many opportunities with the ball in hand, Hardcastle, in the first half. And the ball squirts out the back and it's knocked on by Connor Jones, and just the worst possible start imaginable for Featherstone. Play 3, mistake in their own half. And although York made a couple of mistakes in the last few sets of the first half, generally pretty squeaky clean in that department in the wet weather. Featherstone, on the other hand, too many leg ups so far in this game, and are going to be put under immediate pressure defensively. York with the scrum 20 metres out. Hingano drops it underneath now for Galliano. Galliano put on the ground on the 20. First tackle for York. Thompson drops off Santi. Good contact coming in from Williams. Need a little bit more of that. Play in centre field. Thompson now. Played the whole of the first half. Thompson at loose forward. And he's put to ground by his opposite number, Addy. McShane fires the ball out to Harris. Harris pass out to Buchanan. Tries to go on the outside of his man. Good tackle on the inside from Hatton. Bootlace tackle brings him down, ball and all. Bailey going for the line. Can't get to the line. He's put on the ground there by Wild. This will be the last one for York. Pass comes back in field. Under pressure is Harris. Just dinks the ball into the in-goal area. It's bouncing all around and it beats everybody in the end over the dead ball line, and that will be a 7-tackle set. Great defence on show from Featherstone. But Alfort's not allowed to go and play this one quickly, and is that because the referee's not back in position? Not 100% sure, but not allowed to take that one quickly. Just takes the sting out of the restart perhaps, but Featherstone do have a 7-tackle set here. 2 minutes of the second half gone, no change to the score. Featherstone 0, York 16. Addy. Driving it forward, Danny Addy. Awkward looking tackle coming in there on Addy's legs, but he's upright to play the ball as Hampshire gives the flat pass there to Hardcastle, but good shot over the ball there from D. Hardcastle plays it on the halfway line. Turner tries to straighten things up now. So they come short side. Hampshire wants the ball, gets it, fires the pass out now for Hatton. Hatton beats one man into the backfield. Hatton tries the offload and it was an untidy one, and it's dived on by McShane. And once again, as we've said, the last pass just not coming up for Featherstone so far in this one. Hatton did all the hard work. He got through a couple of tackles there, just tried to slip an impossible pass. It was picked up by McShane, and York take over possession, and they're up to their 30 on the second here. Galliano shot over the ball, but makes another 5 or 6 metres after contact. Jones Bishop, 2 tries in the first half, put to ground in a trio of Featherstone defenders there. Approaching the halfway line here, York. Out it comes, and it's knocked on under pressure there, Hingano, and Featherstone take over possession now and have the opportunity to attack the York line on the end of this set. Great work from O'Connor coming in off his edge, got in his eye line and forced the error. As Jones is wrapped up there by Santi. 30 metres out now, Featherstone. Marauding run there from Beckett.
Plays it in the middle of the field. Comes right to Addy. Hampshire. Hampshire onto Hardcastle. Hardcastle beats the first man but can't get away from the attention of McShane on the 20. Quick ball now to Addy. First receiver. Flat pass there for Williams at pace. This is better attack from Featherstone. A lot more direct. Couple of tackles still to come. Hampshire, first receiver. Flat pass comes out. Quick ball out to Wynn. Wynn, not a lot of room, just has to submit to the tackle. The sliding defence from York was up to the task there. He'll play it 10 metres out, tight to that far left touchline. Last tackle. Pass comes infield for Turner, under pressure again. Dinks the kick in, looking for the chasers, taken by Jones. Jones can he get to the line? Connor Jones, he's got it down! And the referee points to the spot. And wonderful individual effort there from Connor Jones. Callum Turner manufactured the kick. He put it just on the try line, exactly where he wants it. And Jones, despite giving away some height on the York defence, got above the pack. Not only that, collected the ball and had the wherewithal to reach out and score. And that's just the start that Featherstone Rovers needed in this second half. They get the first points of the second half with 4.5 minutes gone. It's now Featherstone Rovers 4, York Knights 16.
And how often do we see it throughout his Featherstone career, coming up with a crucial try for Rovers,
brings them back into this game.
Did it all himself from the kick.
As Hampshire guides the ball between the posts, cuts the gap now to just 10 points. It's Featherstone 16, York Knights. It's Featherstone 6, York Knights 16. What a piece of play from Connor Jones there. Just superb to get the ball. He's knocked off his feet in the contest for the ball and just managing to promote it to the line. Excellent play from the dummy half. So he got above Santi, took it well over his head and reached for the line. As York get the game back underway. Taken on the bounce there by Hardcastle. Hardcastle runs straight back at Hingano, whose mistake led to that Featherstone try. Vuniyawa now, his first action of the evening. Addy hands it straight on to Williams, who's been one of Featherstone's best off the bench. Good impact and intensity from the middle forward. Up to the 40 now. Turner beats one man. Callum Turner dancing into space. Can he accelerate through the gap? Turner, can he get away from Thompson? Thompson gets hold of him, just eventually brings him down on his shirt collar. This is a purple patch from Featherstone here. They're already 30 metres out. Hampshire attacks the line, digs in, gives it to Aikins. They need to make decisions. Aikins is through. Aikins rounds the fullback and scores back-to-back tries for Featherstone. And all of a sudden we've got a game on our hands here at the Millennium Stadium. What a commanding set from Featherstone downfield. The half break on the previous play from Turner. And they just straightened it up. Aikins getting the ball out the back. The York defence was backpedaling and he just dummied, sliced his way through, rounded the fullback with ease. And with 7.5 minutes gone in the second half, Featherstone are right back in this contest. It's Featherstone Rovers 10, York Knights 16.
And Hampshire now will have a conversion attempt to cut this score in the blink of an eye to just 4 points, and he does so with very little effort at all. And all of a sudden, we have a 4-point game here. It's Featherstone Rovers 12,
York Knights 16.
As York, coach Mark Applegarth going to his bench. He's brought Kieran Hudson
and Jack Martin into the game. Lovely ball out the back. Aikins just dummied, held up the defence. Brown couldn't get anywhere near him. Scores underneath the posts. Game back on. What have York got in response? Because Featherstone have been tremendous to start this second half. As Vuniyawa is knocked off his feet there by Hudson. That was a huge contest and a huge collision. The York front rowers trying to put their stamp on the game. Hudson literally his first involvement of the game. But then York give away a penalty.
And McShane, the man, the guilty party this time. Featherstone with real momentum in this game now. Back-to-back tries.
A fine touch on the halfway line, just inside York's territory, in fact. They tap it on the halfway line. O'Connor comes forward. Good shot on him by D. And he's lost the ball in the tackle there. Can you believe it? Just the first tackle of the set. Difficult in these conditions, very wet, greasy ball as I mentioned, but O'Connor has barely put a foot wrong. Just a simple error there on the first tackle, and all of the pressure undone on York there. Really frustrating moment there for Featherstone, who've really come alive in the last few minutes. Half an hour of the game remaining. Game evenly poised now at 12 points to 16. As York off that scrum win, play it on the halfway through Buchanan. Hudson sends Williams reeling out of that one, plays it quickly, and there's never back on side. In fact, he said that Hudson played the ball off the mark, so Williams was entitled to make that tackle. Great defensive effort. Martin. Good shot over the top there from Vuniyawa, getting one back against him from a minute ago.
Puts him on the ground 5 metres into Featherstone territory as Thompson skips away from Addy. He's put to ground by Vuniyawa and Williams. Come right. Harris kicking early this time. Chasers are coming through. Wynn takes it. It's bounced off his chest, but Wynn does a good job to get away from his man, and in the end salvages possession for his side in the face of a decent kick chase from York, who are looking to pounce on that loose ball as Hatton comes through the middle. Good carry. Best part of 10 metres on that one from the Featherstone centre. Springer comes back into the game in backfield. Coach Paul Cook just rotating his forwards again. Williams off. Wild through the middle of the field. 30 metres out. Jones skips out of dummy half, loops it back infield there for Turner. Turner is put to ground in the harassing tackle of McShane, and that'll be the last one for Featherstone. Hampshire going to kick from his own 40 again. Hoofs it downfield, plenty of height on this one. Brown takes it comfortably on the 20. Has a little room to move before he's met by the Featherstone line, and there's a little bit more venom and energy in the Featherstone defensive line at the moment. Great shot over the ball there from Hardcastle. Jones Bishop into the clutches of Springer. Finishing off the tackle was Wild. Galliano beats one man, beats two. Hampshire bounces back to his feet, but destructive run there from the York winger. Martin now goes down 5 short of halfway. They come left to Hingano, drops off D. Working in that left channel, his left Hardcastle on the ground here. Looks very dusty after that tackle, and he's very, very wobbly legged here, Josh Hardcastle, but that kick is out on the full. And another mistake coming in from York as the game's just paused for a moment. While Josh Hardcastle gets attention, he was very, very jelly-legged getting up, and you'd imagine that he will at least have to come off for a HIA. In fact, if not, his evening could be over. But on the restart, Featherstone will have the ball close to the halfway line following that shocking kick, really, from Hingano. Got it all wrong, put it 5 or 6 metres over the touchline on the full. And York just starting to wobble a little bit. They're in complete control at half-time. But 2 quick tries after the break to Connor Jones and Caleb Akins on the very next set of 6. And I've put Featherstone right back in this game, a 4-point contest now. With 26 minutes of the game remaining. I imagine the referee will have stopped the clock here with the injury to Hardcastle. Can't see how Hardcastle could stay on after seeing how wobbly legged he was. Surely have to come off for a HIA.
He doesn't want to come off. He's in the arms of the trainer at the moment and the physio. Just consulting with the doctor. Don't think he'll have much choice but to come off. From what we've seen with how the game treating head injuries. And he is coming off for a HIA. A little bit of claret, I think, around the mouth as well. This is the impact of playing this game. Very, very physical, and Hardcastle just coming off second best there. But Featherstone, with the set restart now off the play of the ball, Springer standing in the tackle, such a hard man to put down, Gadwin Springer. 3 defenders around him, they couldn't put him on the deck. Addy drops off Funyayawa over the halfway line now. Good drive into York territory. Just the second tackle. Out it comes to Hampshire. Flat pass for Springer. Springer's got the defenders going backwards. Hingado did a good job to stand his ground there on a much bigger man and puts him to ground. 40 out. Addy bumps away from Hingado, finds Jones. A little bit of room, they dink the kick in. It's taken a ricochet off a York foot and into touch. Now then, was this played at? Referee ruling here. Which way is he going to rule? It's going to go to Featherstone. He's said a York foot played at that ball. And Featherstone will get into the set of 6 here, starting 30 metres out. A golden opportunity to tie this game up with a try, perhaps. Off the restart, Vuniyayawa. Through he comes, beats 1, beats 2, still going. Put to ground 20 out now. Hampshire, first receiver. Out it comes to Aikins. Aikins standing in the tackle, put to ground. 10 metres out. Addy. Into the line, Hampshire. Hampshire dummies, Hampshire's going to score himself! Ryan Hampshire, his first try for the club this season, just went through the line, just took them on himself, darted into a little bit of space and split the line and scores Featherstone's 3rd try of the second half without reply, and all of a sudden we have a locked up ball game here at the Millennium Stadium. It's now Featherstone 16, York 16 with a kick to come. And Hampshire now with the conversion attempt to convert his own try to put Featherstone in the lead for the first time. What a turnaround this has been for Paul Cook's men. Just saying at half-time how York had just been a little bit better in most departments, and they, more importantly, had taken the chances they were given in the first half, whereas Featherstone hadn't quite been able to capitalise on the opportunities they were given, but very much the polar opposite in this second half. 3 tries without reply, the most recent one coming to Rocky Hampshire. Just took the line on himself, retreating defensive line again. And with this conversion attempt, he guides the ball between the posts, and Featherstone have the lead for the first time this evening. They now lead the York Knights by 18 points to 16. And a huge last 20 minutes coming up for both sides. What a turnaround it's been from Featherstone. What have York got in response? Been very, very much second best in this second half so far, York. Featherstone have been fantastic, really elevated their game since half-time. As Springer comes forward, and he's been bundled to the ground there by Martin. Huge contact coming in again. Been a really physical game in the middle this. Great to watch. As Vuniyayawa plays it, Turner to Webb. Webb driven down in the tackle on that far side by Buchanan. Turner, out it comes to Addy. Addy pokes his nose through the line again, finds his front, plays it. Aikins, Aikins off his right foot. Up and over the halfway line on the last tackle. Decent set after points from the home side. Hampshire puts the kick up. Testing one for Galliano, takes it and then slips and just has to submit to the tackle on the 10 metres. So a fantastic set after points from Paul Cook's side. Featherstone really full of running at the moment. Marauding defence there from Rovers. O'Connor in over the top. As Hingano tries to pinch a couple of metres. That's 3 tackles gone. They're on their own 20 here, York. Jones Bishop. Good low tackle coming in from Vuniyawa. Up to the 30 now, York. Galliano, second touch in this set. And he gets them up and over the 40. That'll be the last one. Good containing set of 6 in defence from Featherstone. Harris, kicking under pressure. Back through the middle of the field, takes one bounce, and in fact a second bounce. Alfort's just let it come to him and finds the pass out for Aikens. Beats the first man. Aikens, what a brilliant second half he's had so far. As we're inside the final quarter. Featherstone 18, York 16. Is it Alfort's? Just wrestled to the ground there by Martin in the end. Featherstone on the halfway line. Springer. To the 40. Addy, flat pass there for Vuniyawa. Into the backfield, Vuniyawa. He hasn't got any support, he might not need it. He finds the offload eventually for Addy. Can they get the ball out wide? He's eventually put to ground on the last there by Jordan Thompson. Second effort coming in, wasn't penalised. Hampshire, this time, fires the pass out for Webb. Webb's going to be caught in possession there, but not a bad place to turn over the ball. Right on that try line in that far corner. And Featherstone really challenging York in every aspect of the game here. They come firing out in defence there to put a shot on Jones Bishop. Hingano off the quick play. Hatton is in there quickly to put him down. York, 2 tackles gone, they're on their 20. But a real tale of 2 halves here. Featherstone, who couldn't capitalise on anything in attack in the first half, and it's been all them in the second. York looks shell-shocked at the moment as Thompson tries to get them going forward. Springer puts him to ground on the 30. McShane doing the kicking this time. He's got plenty on it. He's looking for a 40-20, and it's pulled up a metre short there. Kind bounce for Featherstone. And they'll take over possession now. On their own 30. 18 minutes remaining. Featherstone 18, York 16. Plenty to like about what the response that Paul Cook's got from his players so far. Alfort's. Plays it, 5 short of halfway. Jones, who's really coming to the game in the second half as well. Out to Aikens. Aikens fires the pass out to Wynn. Wynn. What's he going to do? Tries to slip around the outside and almost got around his opposite number there, but Jones Bishop did just enough to pull him to ground. 30 metres out now. Ball comes back in the field for Addy. Addy, who hasn't had a break in the middle yet. We'll play it 30 metres out. Jones. Hampshire inside to Turner. Turner beats one. Really good on his feet, Turner, and found some inroads. Up to the 10-metre line now. Last tackle for Featherstone. Hampshire. Out the ball comes to Vuniyawa. He's knocked down, but he stayed on his feet. Vuniyawa's going to score! Underneath the posts! 4 tries back-to-back for Featherstone! Can you believe this? An avalanche of points from Rovers. And Vuniyawa, who's had a huge impact off the bench, gets the try underneath the post. He bumped away from the first defence that came up quickly to meet him, knocked him off his feet, but he wasn't tackled. He sprung back up onto them, and he went flying in under the post to score the 4th consecutive try for the home side. And they've opened up a lead now. It's now Featherstone 22, York Knights 16, with a kick to come to put them 2 scores clear. What a second half this has been from the blue wall. Looked up in all sorts at half-time. 16 points down, remember. You see that try again, Vuniya Yawang knocked off his feet by Hingano, just got straight up, shrugged off the defenders and underneath the posts, mobbed by his teammates. And a hugely important try in the context of this game as Hampshire has the ball on the tee, guides it between the posts. And Featherstone now find themselves with an 8-point advantage. They lead York Knights by 24 points to 16. 15 minutes remaining here at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone. Can they go on with this, seal the victory? 8 points to the good now. Springer comes forward again and almost went straight through the line. What an impact he's made since coming back on for his second spell. Alfords, play two, up and over that 30-metre line. Featherstone are full of running here. This is arguably the best they've looked all season. As Addy comes forward, knocked off his feet by Martin. Vuniya Yawang, the most recent try scorer, just tucks it under his wing this time, nothing silly, up to over that 40-metre line. Couple of tackles still to come. They come left, Turner out to Webb. Webb comes off his left foot, put to ground just over the halfway line. On the last, Hampshire will do the kicking this time. Little bit of a chip over the top here from Hampshire. He'll get the bounce, it's hacked on there by Addy, but Galliano cleans it up at the back. Can he get away from his man Alfords, and O'Connor are there with help from Wild to put him to ground. Not a bad set of 6 after points. And Hampshire just testing York's honesty in defence there as Field is almost knocked off his feet. Did a good job to ride that challenge of Springer but couldn't get away from Vuniya Yawang. Jones Bishop. Trying to get up over that 30, he's put back on that line. Featherstone defence all over him. Webb left on the ground in back play. Gets up and just retreats back into the line. Kumatai, who was brought back into the game in the aftermath of that most recent Featherstone try, plays it on the York 40. Thompson, straight up carry, nearly through the line there. Thompson put to ground in the end by Wild, but not before he's made 20 metres. Last one, ball comes out to Harris. Harris puts the kick up, looking to test out Wynn. Wynn takes it comfortably on the 10 and just tries to stutter back in field, and we've rarely seen any play down this end of the field as Connor Wynn still going forward, so strong. And York have simply had very, very few chances in the last 25 minutes or so. It's been all Featherstone, in which we've seen them score 4 tries without reply, and are now 8 points to the good heading into the final 12 minutes here. Alfords, up and under him was D. Aikens over the halfway line. Great carry up to the 40. Jones, out it comes now to Hampshire. Hampshire straightens up the attack, looking to slip the net. Hampshire, and it's eventually closed down there by Ty. This will be the last one, 20 metres out again. Turner dinks the kick into no man's land, looking for the bounce. He'll get the bounce. Turner, can he get to the line? Callum Turner. He's getting help from his teammates, but York have done a great job, it has to be said, to wrap up the ball and stop him from getting the ball down. That would have been the game, set and match to Featherstone. The York scramble defence did just enough to keep them in this contest. Galliano is driven back. So much energy in this Featherstone defence. Galliano, almost a dummy play the ball out. I don't think he meant to do that, but he's allowed to get up and play on. Jones Bishop on the second carry. Put to ground by Springer. Martin. Been well contained in his second spell. Springer retreats back into the line. Addy was the chief tackler on that occasion. Ty snatches at the ball and winds up. Makes 5 or 6 metres after contact. 11 minutes to go. Featherstone 24, York 16. Out the ball comes to Hingano. Out it comes now to Field. Field trying to get on the outside of O'Connor. O'Connor puts him to ground and
Alfords finishes him off on the second attempt. Back infield to Hingano. Hingano just trying to straighten things up. Fires a no-look pass out to Harris. Harris puts it high. Testing one, backpedaling is Wynn, and he hasn't touched that one. It's gone over the dead ball line, and this will be a 7-tackle set and a 20-metre restart. And everything just not quite working for York as it was in the first half. As Connor Jones comes from the field, what a stint that's been. Best part of 70 minutes. Started at half-back, slotted in at hooker, and has made a huge impact in this second half as Will Jubb goes back into the game. And even more good news for Featherstone, it looks like Josh Hardcastle may have passed his HIA. He's now back on the touchline. And it looks as if he'll be back into the game, which is remarkable considering how gingerly he got up after the initial head contact. Vuniyayawa now. Just keeps hold of it. He'll play it. 35 metres away from the York line. Hampshire steps in field for Aikens. Aikens into the backfield. Can he get round the fullback? He doesn't, but just about did so. He's put down ground. A quick play of the ball. They've got them shot. They've got to get it wide. As Webb is wrapped up there on the far side by York, and York, again, desperation stakes on that far side. Do just enough to hold Featherstone at bay. As we're inside the final 10 minutes according to our clock here. 24 points to 16, Featherstone lead. If it stays like this, they will claim their second win of the championship season. Hingano, kick out wide, looking for Galliano. Doesn't get the bounce, eventually does on the second attempt. Galliano looking to go wide. Great tackle from Alfords. And he's nearly lost the ball there. But Alfords puts him to ground. Hingano fires the pass out to Harris. They're on the halfway line into territory. He's slipped the net here. Harris going to try and cut in field around Aikens. He beats his man and will score underneath the post. And this is going to set up a blockbuster finish here at the Millennium Stadium. York have pulled a try from nothing. They started with the ball right down the far end. Hingano fired the kick out wide for Galliano. Picked up best part of 40 metres on that play. They fired the pass out wide. Harris, as he's so good at doing, just put the foot down, accelerated through the retreating Featherstone line. Scores underneath the post. This will be a converted try, and it'll bring it back to a 2-point game, you'd imagine, in just a moment. We've got just under 8 minutes to go at the Millennium Stadium. It's now Featherstone Rovers 24, York Knights 20. What a game this has been in the second half. Harris from bang in front to convert his own try. Makes no mistake in doing it. Featherstone 24, York Knights 22. Who has got the composure to win this one? Betfred Championship, round 7. Game in the balance here. What a fantastic second 40 we've had. And the game, after all this, still on a knife edge. Featherstone with a slight advantage. As Springer comes from the field. And Hardcastle, Beckett back into the game. Kickoff comes, taken by Brown. Here comes Ty. Big contact coming in from Beckett. They have him going backwards, the big Kiwi. He'll play it 20 out. Martin comes again on second carry. He'll play it on the 30. Out to Thompson. Thompson rides one challenge. Put to ground eventually by Turner and Wild. But a big stint in the middle. Wild. Harris drops off Ty. Second carry in this set. So we approach the final 5 minutes here.
Harris, out it comes to Hingano. Hingano to D. Running into a little bit of space. Hardcastle puts him to ground. Made 60 metres on this set, York. It's the last one. Hingano. And it's knocked on there by Harris. And that's a big leg up for Featherstone. And the pass not quite where it needed to be from his half-back partner. Round down the bootlaces. Couldn't pick it up. And a real advantage now to Featherstone, who will start the set 40 metres away from their own line now, with a chance to go on the attack here if they can keep hold of the ball in this set.
Inside the final 5 minutes according to the stadium clock.
Beckett
will play the ball. Still going, in fact. Beckett eventually put on his back. We'll play it 40 out now.
Jubb
to Turner, and it's a forward pass from Will Jubb. Can you believe it? Cardinals sin really poor execution and just no need for it. On their own 40 on just the first tackle, and now the pendulum swings back the way of York, who will now have a scrum feed 40 metres from Featherstone's line. Biggest defensive set of the game coming up for Featherstone here. 2 points the advantage for the home side. York have found some energy from somewhere in the last 10 minutes of this one. Ball comes out now to Harris. Harris drops off Hingano's. Done a lot of ball running in this second half. Plays it 35 out. Martin. Addy in there to meet him. And there with Jubb and Williams, who's back onto the field for the final few minutes as well. McShane, out it comes to Harris. Harris drops it underneath for Buchanan. Buchanan put to ground. 15 out. McShane, out it comes to Harris. Harris, flat pass there for Ty. In there to meet him was Hardcastle, but he left him on the ground. Ty plays it 10 metres out. Comes out to Hingano. Hingano dummies and goes himself. Hingano, he's half a metre short. He's brought down and rolled onto his back by Featherstone. Desperate defence on their try line. Last tackle. Huge play coming up now. Thompson, first receiver, fires it out to Harris. Harris beats the first man, gets it wide. Looping pass out to Jones Bishop. The defence is there to hurry across. And they've wrapped him up, Ben Jones Bishop in that corner. Fantastic defence on display from Featherstone from left to right there. They saved a try on this far left side, and then numbers came across desperately to close down the options there for Jones Bishop on that far side as York look to capitalise. And they need to clear their line here now. 2.5 minutes to go. 24-22 to Featherstone. Can they hold on? O'Connor, not many metres forward in this set from Featherstone. Gonna need a big kick on the end of it here, you'd imagine. Beckett, this is a better carry. Jimmy Beckett up and over the 30. What a carry that is from the big front rower. Still a couple of tackles in the bag for Featherstone here. Akins. Akins steadies the line. Up and over that 40. Nothing silly. He'll play it just short of the halfway line. Last one to Hampshire. Hampshire dinks the ball downfield. That's a decent kick. Trying to get it off the pitch. He can't do so. Brown cuts it off just inside the 10, but the chase is good from Featherstone. And York have got to go upfield inside the final 2 minutes here to try and pull this one out of the fire. Galliano. Good tackle up and under the ball from Jubb. And he's knocked the ball out of the play, the ball, Galliano. And it's high fives all round from Featherstone. Is that the mistake that could hand victory to Featherstone Rovers here? Just didn't get the execution right on the play, the ball. And he protests his innocence. A little bit of pushing and shoving there. Ryan Hampshire letting him know about that mistake. And it will be a play the ball here for Featherstone, who have the opportunity now to at least camp down York's end, if not get a try to wrap this one up. A pulsating second half in which Featherstone have come from 16 points behind to lead this one.
but the job not quite done yet. Williams off the restart. Wild. Put to ground inside the 10. Turner out to Addy, just straightens it up. Bumps away from 1 and 2. The York defence recovers, puts him to ground inside the 10. Featherstone don't need to panic, they don't need to do anything silly. Hampshire, out it comes to Aikins. Aikins is picked off by Hingano, gets away from him and gets the ball all the way up to the 5. Slow play of the ball incoming here. Jubb tries to pinch one himself, put to ground by Hingano, who was alert to the danger. This will be the last one. Hampshire skips away from 1. It's away from 2, fires it back infield for Aikins. Drops off Turner. Turner good on his feet, and Turner just takes the tackle in the end there. And York will get possession back, 15 away from their own line. Can't be any more than a couple of minutes left here. We don't have the exact time as Martin is bundled backwards. That's great defence from Featherstone. Beckett leading the line. Hudson gets up to the 30-metre line. Still don't think we've seen Harvey Reynolds for York. In fact, 80 minutes gone on the clock as Thompson almost gets through himself. A collar grabbed by Williams, and what an important involvement that was. Otherwise, Thompson was away upfield. 5 minutes short of the halfway line. This will be the final roll of the dice for York. All hands to the pumps defensively for Featherstone. One last big effort in defence. Martin gives it on to Thompson. Thompson to Hingano. Hingano tries to stab the kick in. He doesn't get it through the line. Brown picks it up. That'll be the last one for York. Not played at by Featherstone. This is it. This is the game on the line here. Hingano dinks the kick through. Featherstone are going to drop on it. Beckett picks it up. And that will surely be enough to hand Featherstone victory. As we must be inside the final minute or so of this game now. Hatton forward, he comes. Olferts. The slowest play of the balls of the game so far in this game, in this final minute. Win. Picks up 5 or 6 metres. Featherstone on the verge of one of the most unlikely victories if you take into account the half-time score. 16-0 down they were, leading by 2 points now. Out it comes to Hampshire. Hampshire beats 1, beats 2, gives it to Wild. Wild looking to get rid of the ball. It's still the last. They're keeping it alive. Hampshire just drills the ball downfield. And it rolls and hits the in-goal flag. And that will be a 7-tackle set. Not entirely sure how long's left. Must have been a couple of minutes added on for the injury stoppage to Josh Hardcastle. As Field comes forward, put on the ground there by Addy. As the siren sounds, York have got the ball live at the moment. Harris fires it out, that's a forward pass. The ball comes out to Ben Jones-Bishop, who hacks the ball in field. It's everybody on now. Can they get back to the ball? O'Connor picks the ball up and he's put to the ground. And that brings to the end a sensational Good Friday clash in the Betfred Championship. And Featherstone Rovers look down and out at half-time. York led by 16 points to 0 at half-time. But Featherstone, they came out reinvigorated in the second half and hit York with 4 straight tries back-to-back. Connor Jones, Caleb Aikens, Ryan Hampshire and King Vuniyawa to lead by 8 points. York came back in the final 5 minutes with a try to Liam Harris to make it a nail-biter. But in the end, with that desperate play from Bailey O'Connor to clear up the Ben Jones-Bishop kick, just about sums up how frantic this game has been. But Featherstone, they get their second win of the championship season, a vital win to kickstart their championship campaign. And well-deserved it was. Down and out, whatever Paul Cook said to them at half-time had an impact. They came back with a spring in their step, more energy, and really took it to York And in that win, end a 4-game winning streak for the Knights. And Featherstone getting something for their efforts, start looking up the table now and building some momentum from this. What a second half performance Featherstone have conjured up here. It's finished at the Millennium Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 24, York Knights 22. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend.